A vigorous low pressure system is going to develop off the New South Wales coast today, and that will bring severe weather to many parts of the state in the next couple of days. Quite a few things will happen: damaging winds, potential for heavy rain and flooding, as well as powerful waves out on the ocean. So let's dive into it and get the latest information for Monday morning. This is showing pressure across the country, with red being high pressure and blue being low pressure. And at the moment, we can't really see any low pressure, but this map is going to show us how quickly this low pressure area develops and intensifies during Monday night, and then in particular on Tuesday, this big blue region out to the east coast. I also wanted to show you we're actually going to be seeing two low pressure areas out over the Tasman, and because these two areas are so close together, they will interact with one another, and it makes it a very complex weather situation out over the water. Watch on Wednesday night and Thursday how these two low pressure areas rotate around each other. That's called dumbbelling, and that is going to mean we get complex weather near the coastline. On Thursday, both of these two lows pull further out into the ocean. We start to see the red high pressure area creeping back in, and the weather will settle down for Thursday. So what we can say, despite this complex setup over the ocean, we are expecting very strong wind across most of eastern New South Wales. Many areas will get windy on Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, and it will stay windy right through the day on Wednesday. And in fact, damaging winds is what we have issued the first severe weather warning for. So this is the first warning in place for this weather event: damaging winds through large parts of eastern New South Wales. And you'll notice it actually covers a few different areas. Firstly, we're looking up in the mountains, up in the Great Dividing Range in the northern tablelands, all the way from the Queensland border down to around the Hunter Mountains here. We also have damaging winds in place along the coastline here, and that includes many of the most populated areas in New South Wales, including Port Macquarie, Newcastle, Sydney and Wollongong along the east coast. So these winds are going to crank up on Tuesday, very windy through Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. And the places which are in these yellow areas could see some of the following impacts: damage to trees, branches coming down. That can in turn damage property if trees fall onto your house, onto your garden, onto the trees, onto the cars outside. Power outages are definitely possible, as these trees could fall down onto power lines. And we also anticipate some difficult driving conditions, especially if you're on a motorbike or a high vehicle like a caravan, bus or a truck. Alongside the wind and the wind impacts, we will still see a decent amount of rainfall across the east and the southeast. Most of this rain will come over a 48-hour period between midnight Monday night and midnight Wednesday night. So through Tuesday, through Wednesday, lots of wet weather across the east coast. It does get across into Victoria as well, particularly Gippsland. The heaviest falls are going to be between Port Macquarie and about Bairnsdale down here in the south, but it looks like the real heaviest falls, this darkest colour on the map, is around coastal parts of the Illawarra, potentially parts of the south coast region and even southern parts of Sydney, where we could see in excess of 100 millimetres over that 48-hour period, potentially up to 200 millimetres, and one or two locations may even get more than that. We will also see decent accumulations through eastern parts of the Hunter and southern parts of the mid-north coast, and that's particularly important because those areas were hit very hard by heavy rain and flooding back in May, so even modest rainfall there could cause some issues. When we see what this rain could do, the main issue is going to be flooding. Now, these are flood watches, so these rivers are on watch for potential rises in the coming couple of days. This includes the Hawkesbury Nepean Valley inland of Sydney, as well as the rivers out through the Sydney coast and the Illawarra coast. I know there are going to be further flood watches issued today, but we had to film this video before they could all get issued. Some down here through the south coast into eastern parts of Victoria around that Gippsland region. We may also see some flood watches get issued up through parts of the Hunter and the mid-north coast. So do keep an eye on the severe weather warnings, the flood warnings and the flood watches for your neck of the woods all across this eastern flank of the country. Finally, a quick word on what's happening on the water. These two lows are generating large, powerful waves. This will be very dangerous for anyone who's in a boat out on the eastern oceans, but it will also potentially impact the coastline. That's what this warning here is for. This is a coastal hazards warning for damaging surf. We could see damage and erosion across beaches along eastern New South Wales from Moruya Heads up to Seal Rocks north of Newcastle. So caution is required on and near the water in the coming few days. So there's lots of warnings already in place. They will be issued, updated, monitored and amended throughout the next few days as we track this powerful and complex weather system. So you can find all of that on the Bureau's website, and we'll keep updating you through our social media channels as well. Thanks for watching.